are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
I'm doing pretty well today, Brian. It's nice Thursday, June 29th here, approaching July.
Approaching July. Isn't that unbelievable?
It kind of is, dude.
It kind of is.
Where has the summer gone?
Week 17, Brian.
I was just making that analogy the other day. It is true, though. It is the week 17 analogy. And there's just so much going on, such a great time of year. So much to talk about. Obviously, a historic night for the Yankees. We're going to get to that in 1 second, Tony. But as we always do, today is day one of the Rocket Mortgage Classic from Detroit Golf Club. And right now, atop the leaderboard, 6 under par through his first 12 holes, is the American Sam Ryder. And he is trailed by the Englishman Callum Tarran, who's 5 under through 8. And then in the mix as well, you have Colin Morikawa, 2 shots back of the leader. He's 4 under through his first 9 holes. Keegan Bradley, Tony's pick, is 3 under through his first 10 holes. Ricky Fowler, 3 under through his first 9 holes. So once again,
and I said, you better come.
Once again, scoring the theme, coming off the Travelers last week early on. And like I had said in our preview, Tony, I expect more of the same at this tournament here.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not,
Yeah. I mean, with the numbers already early and just the history of this course. And I don't know if you saw this. I don't think we talked about it yesterday. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But did you see how they're going to make the TPC Cromwell harder because of the scoring records?
I think you may have mentioned it, but no, I didn't know they were actually going to go through with it.
Official announcement. Stack sent me over it yesterday. And I like it because I like it. You're going to make it a little harder, but I mean, I have a hard time believing that the winner's still not going to be 17, 18 under par. So, instead of shooting 62s, they're shooting 64s. I mean, it makes it a little more interesting, and it makes the better golfers stand out.
Do you think they're going to do that like around the world or like around different courses that they go to?
It just like this course, I'm sure we'll see what happens after the week is potentially a candidate, but there's not that many of those courses on the PGA Tour. I mean, let's face it. I mean, golf is a tough game. There's a lot of tough courses out there. It's not like the PGA Tour has a bunch of cupcakes on their schedule.
Wow. Do you think they're going to go to Mohegan maybe for something? Have they ever?
No, they haven't. I could see a Corn Ferry, Tony. But honestly, the Foxwood, like the Mohegan course is great. Had a great time golfing there yesterday. But the Foxwoods course is more like tougher. I would say more breathtaking. So I could see definitely at least a Corn Ferry Tour event there. Maybe an alternate PGA Tour event down the line. That would be pretty cool.
That would be sick, dude. I'd be into that.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do for those changes and how they make that course a little harder. I was going to mention too, Joel Damon, my pick, +2 through his first 9 holes. So has some work to be done here. And then I'm completely blanking. I had Damon, but then you had Straka as your sleeper.
Except Straka, baby.
But then who the heck?
Some old dude, maybe?
I mean, I have the file right
Oh,
here.
You do? Okay. I was worried for a second that you didn't have the file.
So Straka didn't tee off yet. and let's see what we got here. So it was Kramer Hickok. I remember.
Oh, Kramer, that's right.
You were having a good time with that yesterday.
I mean, how do you not, dude? Come
on. And I'm sure he's probably like 6 over. Let's see. He has not teed off yet, 138. So
okay,
plenty of time, and it's the same. It was a busy morning, so I haven't had a chance to watch any of this coverage yet, but I'm sure I'll get to later on. And it's just, I probably would have had it on in the morning. Wow, Morikawa with another birdie there to go to 5 under through his first 10 holes, so pretty impressive. Ryder still at 6. I would have been listening to it, but I had to listen to sports radio because of the historic night.
Big night.
On the diamond last night.
That's right.
It's a good segue. We'll do another leaderboard update later on here. Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play. Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Throw deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So we had a historic night at the Oakland Coliseum last night as Domingo Herman becomes the 24th pitcher ever in Major League Baseball history to pitch a perfect game, 27 up, 27 down, joining the likes of Don Larson, David Wells, David Cohn, and now Domingo Herman, the 4th Yankee ever to throw a perfect game. The first perfect game since Felix Hernandez back in 2012. So it's been quite some time since we've seen one of these. And what a performance last night. And I was fortunate enough, I was golfing, and then me and Matt, were out to dinner. So I want to say I must have listened to the first 2 innings maybe on the radio, and then watched the rest of the game at home. Was tempted to go to bed at points because of, obviously the Yankees end up winning this one 11-0. So it wasn't exactly a close game, but with history there staring us in the face, I gutted it out. I want to say, it finished up about 12-15, give or take. So it was a late one, coming off that 9:40 start. And I would say quite possibly, I would have a hard time thinking in the modern era that there was more, maybe Dallas Braden, because he was never really that good of a pitcher to begin with. But I would think he must have set the record for the most runs given up in the previous start or 2 starts prior to throwing the perfect game. We had talked about yesterday how, leading up to this one, he had given up 17 earned runs his last 2 starts, including 10 last week against Seattle. And he was just in complete command this entire game. And how do you get through a game? A complete game shutout, obviously, under 100 pitches, exactly at 99. And he throws 72 strikes. So that is unheard of amount of strikes. And the whole thing too, he didn't even get deep into counts. I think he was 3-1, 2-0 on the same batter. Other than that, it wasn't close. There wasn't a question of, is he going to walk a batter? And then it moves down to the no-hitter realm. So that was just so, just so impressive to see how he went to work. The curveball was working. And he had a couple near no hitters. I think he even he was pretty late into one this year. I know against the Red Sox, he might've been into the 8th inning a couple years ago. So we've seen this out of Domingo before. But like I had said, coming off those last 2 starts, you really just didn't see it coming. And even after this, his ERA, because of the 10 earned runs last start. It still is at 4.54. But what a performance! What a piece of history! And just a couple like notes about this too, which is kind of ironic. So the previous 3 times a Yankee pitcher has thrown a perfect game, they won the World Series that year. So 57, 98, and 99. So Herman will look to get that done later on this season. Just saying. And then I know too, I believe he's the first pitcher from the Dominican Republic to throw a perfect game. So that's a piece of history as well. And then what are the chances? And I feel like the K part of this you will like better, but the fact that both Michael K and John Sterling had this series off. So the B play-by-play teams in both the TV and the radio were calling this one. So we had a combination last night on the Yes Network of Jeff Nelson, the former reliever from the late 90s, early 2000s, Nelly, as they like to call him, and Ryan Rucco on the call. So that was kind of interesting on the TV side. And I'm sure, do you think Michael K is,
yes,
he's like,
I can't wait to hear what he talks about it today. Yeah,
he's got to be devastated.
He's got to be. He is.
Because also, I mean, sure, he obviously called Wells and Cohn's perfect games. But for the Kluber one, that was in front of like basically no crowd, a very limited crowd. So kind of a different feel. I don't think he was at the game either. Potentially, he might have been back at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it'd be interesting to see, what he says about that. And then you had Justin Shackle, who is the PA announcer at Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
He was filling in with Susan on the radio last night. And ironically enough, him and Ryan Rucco are close friends. So,
of course,
for 2 guys, in an industry where, announcers are kind of on the older side of things, relatively speaking, to have 2 guys that I think are in their late 30s, to have this opportunity is tremendous for them. So it was just such a special feeling and something that is so hard to do. And I would imagine too, 11 years has to be up there for some of the longest time in between perfect games. I didn't know until they said that it had been that long since we had a perfect game.
Right.
Just because we've had years where there was 8 no-hitters. So it just seems like it, what wasn't as hard or special as you used to do. But I think the whole thing is, there's a complete difference between obviously a perfect game and a no-hitter. Let's see.
Longest gap
11 years. There were 40 no-hitters in the big leagues. But 11
years between Hernandez and Herman, there were 40 no-hitters in the big leagues.
68 to 81. Okay, so
was the longest gap.
It was basically the second longest, I would imagine, just based on how they were putting it there.
It says like 3,969 days in between Herman and Hernandez, and they say it's the longest gap since 4,755 gap, 68 to 81.
And growing up, I don't know if I'm missing anything, but obviously I remember Hernandez. I remember Randy Johnson.
Really?
I think he might have been the oldest guy to throw a perfect game. If you want to actually check that, I want to say he was like 38 or 39. I think it was against the Braves as a Diamondback. And then I remember the Braden perfect game. 40 years old.
Johnson.
Yeah. And then could you actually pull up I'm just curious.
I remember Roy Halladay, 2010 with the Phillies.
And that was a perfect game, or was that a no-hitter in the playoffs?
I'm pretty sure that was a perfect game.
So do like perfect games, yeah.
Oh boy.
You just go all the way down. Like I just want to see the ones that. Okay, so we got Herman. Matt Cain for the same year.
For the Giants.
So that was literally 2 months prior.
Philip Humber in 2012 as well.
3 perfect games and then none for 11 years. Who would have thought that?
That's crazy. There's Roy Halladay for the Phillies in 2010.
Okay, that was regular season. So he threw a no-hitter in the postseason. I think that year.
That's crazy, dude. 115 pitches he threw. Matt Cain threw 125 pitches. Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Mark Burley. Did he throw 2 perfect games? Or was it just a no-hitter?
I mean, let's see if he comes up again.
No. Okay, so it was a no-hitter.
Yeah. Of course, there's Johnson in 04.
How about David Cone getting through 88 pitches and striking out 10?
That's kind of ridiculous.
That's 11 less
36
pitches.
caught by Joe Girardi, dude.
Caught by Joe Girardi, and then Jorge Posada caught the one in 98.
David Wells, yeah, that's sick, dude.
It's kind of interesting though. I'm curious what you think. Like, obviously, we think about Michael Kay and his ego, missing this game. But do you think, just from a fan and a historical perspective, that John Sterling's more bothered that he missed it? Because, he's getting near the end of his time as.
I mean, I feel like but Sterling, I feel like is just less likely to be a fucking asshole about it.
Not an asshole, but I'm saying I think it just I think he just wanted to be part of history,
right.
Not to stick his chest out,
but
just be part of the history of it.
Right. But I'm sure he does. It's definitely on his mind.
Yeah.
But I think because Michael Kay wants to be all like, oh, I was there.
Right.
Like, he cares more, I think.
Right.
That's what I think.
But it really is just unbelievable. I mean, it's like one of the most unexpected things. I mean, from yesterday, and you saw my call into Steve Torrey.
That was nice, dude. That was sick.
Yeah, that was great. We waited 40 minutes in the car to get on.
You get a lot of airtime.
Tons of airtime. He's a Yankee fan, which I was saying, which I think helped.
First time caller?
So I'm trying to think. To him, yes.
First time, long
called
time.
Mad Dog Radio. It's been a little while. But he actually, he did let me say everything. We didn't record the answer, but he just kind of didn't answer to it too much. He more was looking from their perspective of things, made excuses about the injuries, and then said that Florial's clearly shown that he can't hit major league pitching, which you saw probably what I said on Twitter. I'm like, that's insane. He's played 30 games and 15 were his replacements, give or take.
Wow.
So it's like, how could you clearly say that?
Right.
So
that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
But it was good that he let me get on and say my piece. So
yeah.
That was pretty cool. But I still can't believe this happened. It's just an unbelievable feeling. And I feel like you don't even think about no hitters or perfect games until they happen, or you're into I don't know. I guess maybe, what would you say? You really start thinking about it? 7 innings?
7 innings, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's kind of what I was thinking.
It was pretty crazy because was it the 8th inning that the Yankees scored 5 runs or something like that?
And he was 40 minutes.
Yeah, he was on the bench for
6
40
runs.
minutes, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah. So he even went down to the bullpen. They have him on the I guess foul territory lines. So he even went to the bullpen to throw. And he was just in such command. And it's just it's so crazy. He has this ability, but I don't know why is he, you know what I mean? It's he pitches like this, and it's the game against the Dodgers was great as well. It's he has that in him, but for whatever reason, he's never been able to consistently do it over a long period of time.
So I know you said that he had other encounters with close no hitters, and he had a no hitter as well, right?
No
Never no hitter.
Corey Kluber was the last no hitter perfect game before Wells and Cone.
I don't know. I mean, against these teams that he was close against, I mean, is it Oakland-esque teams? Is that maybe why you think he's not consistently doing this? Because
no, I mean, and I know it wasn't a no hitter, but it's he pitched great against the Dodgers. I mean, they're not a slouch. And then also because I think it was actually Dave, which you don't expect him to defend the Yankees, and he even said something like, "Oh, well, I mean, they're not going to win the World Series this year," about the correlation of Wells and Cone and stuff. But he was actually ripping somebody who emailed him, saying that it's not an accomplishment because it gets the A's. But it's what I would say is the A's have, before this game, played 81 games and no one did it. So obviously, if it was that easy, they would have done it. So that's just a ridiculous thing to say.
I mean, it's not easy. It's just not, dude.
No, it's and they were trying to say too, there's nothing like it in sports. And they talked about 100-point games, shutouts, but it's just because the fact that it's perfect, literally, you know what I mean? That it's impossible to do. And really, there weren't any close calls other than that nice play that Anthony Rizzo made down the line. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see that.
But other than that, and it was funny too, people on Twitter were like, boy, when
Josh Thompson.
I mean, you'd have to almost release him after that. If you just
Dude,
airmailed
on the
it.
spot, dude. Yeah, just third base is vacant for the next batter. Josh Donaldson just got fired.
Oh man, but what a good night. And it's just there's been coming from the night before where you completely embarrassed yourself. To have that happen, and then on top of it, we haven't really even talked about the offense. And I know the A's, made some errors, which gave the Yankees a couple more runs. I believe it was 3 errors that they made. But the fact that you put up 11 runs after we were questioning if it was possible to score more than 3, I think this can be such a boost, but you have to take advantage of it. You can't go back to your old ways this afternoon. But Stanton had a huge game, and we'll kind of go into the specifics here, but I think that was the key to get him going. But kind of to give you the scoring head to toe, we had a pitcher's duel between Sears and Herman through the first 3 innings. And then Giancarlo Stanton, I believe there were 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, and it was an absolute missile off the bat. One of those, he just stares right away, knows. I mean, was like 3 levels up into the Oakland Coliseum. So 422 feet, his first home run since the first game of the Subway Series against the Mets.
Wow,
so
dude.
showing you how long ago
There
it
we
had
go.
been. And then in the top of the 5th, the Yankees were able to put across 6 runs. You had a Higgy double scoring IKF, Volpe laying down a bunt. We
Yeah.
talked about bunt, hitting and running. And actually, the first run was on a hit and run. So they sent
Nice.
IKF, and he scored from first on a Higashioka double.
Right.
Volpe bunts, the pitcher throws it away. So Higashioka scores on that. Then DJ LeMahieu comes up. He scores Volpe on a single after Volpe had stolen third base. So nice to see him running. We talked about that yesterday. And then Giancarlo Stanton, homered the previous inning,
Right.
gets a single to left to score LeMahieu and Torres. That made it 6-0. IKF with a single as well to score Anthony Rizzo to make it 7-0. And then no scoring in the 6th. 7th inning, Donaldson with a sac fly to score Oswaldo Cabrera, who came in as a defensive replacement for Stanton, who we talked about getting the start in right field.
Wow, so funny.
Yeah.
He starts in right field. He goes, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, a home run, and only striking out once.
Interesting.
So, interesting is right, dude.
And then in the 9th, they actually put 3 more runs on the board. Bader grounds into a fielder's choice. Rizzo scoring on an error. So another throwing error there. Josh Donaldson with a nice meaningless double to score Oswaldo Cabrera. And then IKF grounds out to short, but Bader is able to come home to make it 11-0. That was the final. So between the offense, the historic element of this, a perfect game. I mean,
Yeah.
I still can't believe it. It really is one of the more rare things. And the fact too, Tony, that Major League Baseball has been around since the 1800s.
Yeah.
So you think about all those seasons and the fact that there's only 24 perfect games. That's really something special.
No, very special.
So all good stuff here. And we talked about Stanton getting the start and right. You mentioned, the 2 for 3, drew a walk as well, and only had the 1 strikeout. You have to hope that this is the plan moving forward, especially until Aaron Judge comes back. And they did announce yesterday he did resume baseball activities, was throwing before the game. So you would imagine, give or take maybe a week or 2 around the All-Star break, everything goes smoothly. He should be ready to go. So that's such an encouraging sign. And who knows, maybe if that had something to do with this strong performance by the team. Harrison Bader, I think going into this one, since the activation off the injured list, was hitting like 170. He was 2 for 5 in this one. So nice to get him going. And then Anthony Volpe continuing his torrid pace. I think over the past 14, 15 games, he's hitting over 300. So another 2 for 4 night there. As well as his 16th stolen base of the season, a steal of 3rd, which is very impressive. And I was asking Corey because he is, he works for the Somerset Patriots, and that's where Austin Wells is playing. So he said for weeks they've been talking about this chicken parm dinner, jokes about the hitting coach. Obviously the fact that Wells is able to point this out, he goes on fire, that type of thing. So that was interesting to hear for sure.
You getting chicken parm this weekend?
I don't know if it'll be a chicken parm weekend because we're going to Westerly,
yeah.
So I mean there are some Italian places. I just don't know what the order of sequence with the dining will be. Seems like 4th of July too, more of a cookout weekend. But boy, I'm starving right now. A chicken parm dinner right now. Can you devour it?
Yeah, dude. And it's funny because we've been talking about it obviously, and I'm realizing I haven't had chicken parm in a long time.
Like, give me a rough timeline here.
It's probably gotta be close to a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even get it that much, but I mean, geez, it's definitely not been a year. I'll tell you
know
that's a long time.
Because I feel like normally, like, I'll get it when we go out, right, at an Italian restaurant,
right?
But like, I'm just trying to see because every time I do go now, I'm like, oh, I always get chicken parm. Let me try something else. You know, as you know, the penne, shrimp, and the vodka, dude. Like, there's a lot of options. So it's always like,
well, you're always calling me out that I always get that, but you're always.
Well, I'm saying I'm changing it up, not always getting it, dude. I'm saying
getting it often.
I mean, like literally, like especially when I was a kid, like every time we went out to a restaurant, chicken parm,
right.
Pasta.
No, me too.
Yeah,
me
dude,
too.
it's like so easy, delicious.
Right.
So I think it's time to get back. You're going on a little chicken parm run, dude.
But I know it's part of like your flavor palette and stuff. Like you can't do the vodka sauce with the chicken parm.
No, I can.
Oh, okay,
I have before, but
you want your marinara?
Yeah, at a dinner at a restaurant. Yeah.
Now, would you prefer it with the marinara mixed all together, or would you rather have the red sauce on the chicken and then have a side of penne vodka as the pasta?
Oh no, I wouldn't mix sauces like that.
But you're not mixing them. You know what I mean? It's in a separate dish. Like you get your dish of chicken with the red sauce over it.
But there's gonna be some overlapping.
Wow,
dude.
I just
can't mix it.
I know it's tradition, Tony.
That's
I don't
ridiculous,
know. I just feel like
dude.
I don't know.
You can't.
At their best, I just don't see how marinara is better than vodka sauce. I don't know. I'm not saying marinara is bad, but I just feel like vodka sauce is like amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes like it's not like it's so too sweet, honestly, sometimes.
So, which is you're kind
marinara
of almost like
savory, dude.
The Matthew where you like the darker vodka sauce versus like the pink.
Yeah, definitely. I don't need a creamier, sweeter sauce, dude.
Yeah. Oh, so hungry right now.
Wow, look at you, dude.
Starving, Tony.
Dude, Mike and I went to do a Facebook Marketplace pickup.
Yeah.
And we had to stop in Danbury to use the bathroom. It must have been Danbury.
Yeah.
And we happened to pull into this gas station, and like I guess inside the quick check, whatever, they have a flat top grill, and she's making like fresh bacon, egg, and cheeses.
Wow.
And I've never seen anything like that at a gas station before.
Yeah, I've seen it like one other place, but it's like, but it's actually a deli that's located in the gas station.
No,
it's
just like the gas station's and it's like the little square one in the middle. It's not even like it's big or anything. Yeah. So, little ham, egg, and cheese, peppers, onions, on a roll. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was like really, really good.
Yeah, it was like literally like she just made it. It was piping hot.
That is good.
And I was so surprised.
I was just thinking of this because you said quick check. Because I went to one in New Jersey when I was, golfing with Corey, and I guess all of them must have it like where they make either the sandwiches or they have the milkshakes. Have you ever had any of that?
I don't know about a milkshake, but sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah, no, like these like Blizzard type milkshakes.
Really,
yeah, like Reese's Pieces and stuff. Like,
whoa, no, I never seen that.
Really good. Really good.
That's
and
sick.
They're all over New Jersey. So
yeah,
I guess
Jersey's
like a Wawa competitor.
Yeah.
I don't like Wawa just because it's like, I'm sorry, but the sandwich sucks. Like,
dude, the sandwich does suck. Yeah. Like it's not good. I don't get it either.
Cold following about it though. What?
And like I've had it, especially like I go down. I've been going down that LBI every summer as a kid, and like obviously Wawa is right there in the island. Like and like everyone does like goes to Wawa, gets sandwiches, goes to the beach. And I'm like, I'd rather go anywhere else, honestly, because their meat doesn't taste good. Sometimes their produce is gross, dude. And the bread, like, is not like you're in New Jersey. You can get great bread at a deli.
Right. And even just buying a package of pork-a-geese rolls, getting some cold cuts, making
Yeah,
it
make it
yourself is
yourself.
going to be so much better than that sandwich.
And
It's insane.
I don't think they use Boar's Head products. I don't think.
No, it's like
ugh.
it's like getting a fresh sandwich at Walmart.
Yeah, dude. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's like there's slimy cold cuts sometimes too. I don't understand it, dude.
No,
I don't get it.
no.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get like maybe if you're getting like what's the name of it? Well, like I know in Florida, like Publix and then Wegmans, like getting a sandwich at one of those places, like sure, but a Wawa or a Walmart, you're just asking for it.
How about just go to a deli, bro?
Yeah, no,
they're
that's
everywhere. They're everywhere.
Right, exactly. It's just like I don't like less than superior, Tony. There's just not a point.
Yeah, I really just don't. I mean, it's not even like Wawa's. Like, I mean, it's cool. It's a convenience store. You can get a lot of things there.
Right. Yeah, to get your chips.
Yeah,
and, you know,
and it's not. It's a one-stop shop. You get gas. You
get a
know,
coffee.
exactly, dude. It's cool like that, but
not as a meal.
you can't do it, dude.
Right now, first thing that comes to your mind, any food, what would it be?
I mean, we're just talking about it, so I'm thinking about like a turkey sandwich right now. Lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise
From Gaetano's?
American cheese. I've never done it from Gaetano's, to be honest.
You were thinking someplace in Staten Island?
Well, I was thinking like the deli up the block from my house. But I mean, whenever I go to Gaetano's, it's always like I've gotten cold cuts there. I think maybe twice, and it's a ham sandwich.
Okay.
Other than that, it's always like salami or it's just chicken cutlet sandwich.
I might get Gaetano's after this, honestly, because I'm just starving, and like it's gonna be a longer day today. So
honestly, what I was thinking, like, because I gotta go to Horseshoe after this to lay down the Ethernet cable.
Yeah,
a little Horseshoe lunch.
Wow,
because they do a turkey club there.
A turkey club,
club, dude. Mike got it once. It's pretty good.
What if they're like, listen, we don't usually do this, but we'll make you the fish and chips. You want them or no?
I mean, if they say that to me, like, yo, how do I not order them? You know, if they say it to me, so I would have to get it.
Like
yeah,
in celebration of Connor Bedard.
Yeah,
Dean, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
dude.
man, did you eat anything today or no?
The breakfast sandwich.
Oh, I didn't realize that was today.
That was
you
this
were
morning.
saying.
Dude.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, because I just had a protein bar and a pack of almonds.
That's always tough in the morning. And I know we don't go, but we were up early and it was there. So Michael got the sandwiches.
It's just like it's so because I feel like I could have it every day, but I just don't want to just because it's like, you know, it's kind of a lot to do that every day. Like the bread, the sandwich, the
eggs,
cheese, the meat, you know.
But gosh, was it good, dude.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Last food question here before we go back. Have you had a breakfast sandwich from Garden
Catering?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
They have some really good ones. How do you feel about egg sandwich, like a bacon, egg, and cheese with chili?
Oh, it sounds good.
It's the hot seat, Tony. Next time.
But I feel like we're teetering on not breakfast.
I mean, you get it for breakfast.
Yeah.
Though. And then have you had their buffalo sauce from Garden?
Oh yeah, of course, dude.
They have like the best buffalo sauce I've ever had.
Really?
I think it's ridiculous. I think I'll try it again.
Honestly, I'm not a big Garden Catering fan, to be honest.
So I don't really get it, but you know what's funny? I always liked it for breakfast.
Really?
Not
I'll
for lunch.
Look into it because honestly, I never really liked their nuggets that much.
Yeah, like,
and
I think they're not bad.
Dude, they serve it to you in the bag too. It gets steamy. It's like it's not. I don't know if it's not great.
It's not
dude.
bad, but like once again, I would rather get Gaetano's.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
A&S is across the street from the one from BlackRock. You know, so it's like, dude.
A&S, yeah. After they botched it that time, they've had a nice recovery. I haven't got that in a while. If it was more convenient, I would get that today because I haven't had that in a really long time.
Yeah. But Gaetano's, dude, is.
Yeah. I haven't had a Kovac in a while. Last couple times I've been getting the buffalo chicken.
Kovac special sucks. I'm gonna try the buffalo chicken, dude.
Wait, is it the broccoli rabe you don't like?
I don't like broccoli rabe, and there's something else on it. I feel
roasted peppers.
No, I love that.
So
maybe it's just a broccoli rabe.
Yeah, because it's just the bread, obviously, the chicken cutlet, the fresh moots, and then the prosciutto. Do you not like prosciutto?
Prosciutto's all right. I'm not a huge prosciutto fan, to be honest.
And then the broccoli rabe and the roasted ribs.
It depends on where I get the prosciutto from, really, because some places just don't have good prosciutto, and then some places it like literally melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
So
that is good stuff. Actually, Zodi's, the restaurant. I know that sounds like a weird thing to get, but Zodi's, the restaurant at Gaynor Brennan, you know, the golf course that we played at, has a prosciutto de Parme that's unbelievable.
Yeah, dude.
Talk about melts in your mouth, like. Really good. So I think you would like that. Next round we go there. We have to do that for sure.
Dude, 2 free trips a month just for you, or like?
Oh yeah, no, but I was talking about Gaynor and Stanford.
Oh,
but,
Stanford.
but
Sorry, I
the
thought you meant, like,
2
the one-
free is at
yeah.
Mohegan's golf
Right,
course,
right.
And it's just like not 2 separate trips, like
Right,
2
2
golfers.
keepers. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's sick, dude.
limited, but always take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So that was a great day yesterday, and then we talked about to keep going to food, but
Yeah,
the
why not,
sitting
dude?
duck. It's funny too because I feel like. Weren't we like we liked the sitting duck, and then I feel like I don't know somebody was tight or what, and now I feel like it's back.
I mean, I don't want to drop names on who was tight, but I mean,
you don't want to drop names,
but I mean, Michael isn't a huge fan.
Oh,
of the
that's
sitting
what it
duck,
was. Okay.
dude.
And
Yeah.
then, obviously, we're not calling him out.
Right.
I was just trying to think of who
no,
was
yeah.
tight.
I mean, it's fine. It's okay to be tight about it. He used to work there for a hot second. The one in Trumbull when it first opened.
Oh, okay.
Because same owners as local, I believe.
Gotcha.
So it's that whole, the whole family kit and caboodle there.
But it really,
I
everything
enjoy
was
it,
on
dude.
the money, and also for a bar,
Yeah,
the calamari was actually great,
dude. In grad school, we'd go there once a week, every Thursday, like after we do our class and shit.
Yeah.
Go to the duck, like burgers, fries, wings, beers, like whatever.
Beef tips.
Sometimes I do beef. It's hard for me not to just get the burger when I'm there.
The
Cadillac burger,
I feel like
dude.
I like burgers, but I don't like fries, so that's why I was like, well, I might as well get something else.
You don't like French fries?
They're over. Like I like onion rings, and I don't even think they have onion rings there.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, dude. That's crazy. You rather do the onion rings?
Yeah, fries. Like maybe you get me like a good
Right.
dipping sauce or a good Cajun, sure, but just regular fries that I'm dipping in ketchup. Like I feel like I've just had them too many times.
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes when I was there and I was like thinking about being healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
You get instead of the fries, you do a side of Brussels sprouts with bacon and balsamic, dude.
No, obviously, yeah, that's really good.
You
And
always mix it up with
I
the
could have
sides.
gotten the fries with the tips, but I got the mashed potatoes because I
Mashed potatoes
love
are
mashed
good.
potatoes.
Really?
Like, a good mashed potato, you
Yeah.
really can't.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with beef tips, it just makes a little more sense.
With the
dude.
sauce
You already have
and
the
stuff.
Dude. Oh, wow.
How are we gonna make it through the rest of the show, Tony?
I mean, we can just keep talking about food.
Uber
Dude.
Eats?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
But yeah,
You like Uber Eats?
I think everybody feels the same way. It's just like the added fees are just insane.
It's kind of ridiculous, right?
Right. There is this thing like for DoorDash where it's like $99 a month, and
Right.
they reduce the fees. If you're gonna get that a lot, it's worth it.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because I was talking to Manny about this because apparently with an Amazon Prime account, you get 2 years of DoorDash Plus or whatever it is for free.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I actually tried it recently, and it's pretty funny. I kind of got pissed off, but like I was like at home, and it was like in a lull. I'm like, oh, I got this thing. Like, let me try it. I might as well.
Yeah.
And you don't. It waives the delivery fee, but I was like, oh, I got Duchess, right?
And
I'm at my place in Stratford, and I know where the Duchesses are around me. And for some reason, the guy was coming from Duchess in Monroe, dude.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah.
No, okay, what
no,
about
no.
the Duchess in Monroe?
That's where the DoorDash went to.
Oh, when you ordered, and you're
Yeah.
thinking it's coming from the Duchess in Stratford, obviously.
Yeah, which is like 8 minutes away from my apartment.
So it was cold.
Yeah, dude, and it was like, what the fuck? It took like over an hour to get there. It's like, and I was like, it's fucked up on DoorDash.
And I just feel like I don't know with like delivery and stuff for anything. And also, I'm at an advantage of where I live because it's like very close to pick stuff up.
Yeah,
but it's like unless you're hammered and you're not going to drive, like it doesn't make sense to get delivery.
No, quite literally, yeah, you're right. And even sometimes when you are hammered, it doesn't make sense.
Well, Tony, come on. But yeah, so back to this game. It really was everything that the Yankees needed, and a magical moment. You just hope that in terms of like team morale, we can look back at this game as a turning point where they finally figured it out. Maybe it's where Giancarlo Stanton finally figures it out. And then maybe that they finally convinced themselves, and I'm referring to Boone and the upper management, Tony, that he has to be in the field. But the only thing that's so annoying is I know because today's game is at 3:37 Eastern, 12:37 in Oakland, that they're gonna DH him or not play him today. I just know it because the travel coming up. I mean, it's so ridiculous. But like, wouldn't you agree that like you would almost be shocked? Stanton right field
Again, yeah, very shocked.
and
2
it's
in a
like he
row,
just had
no
his
way,
best
dude.
game of the
I know.
season. Like, what are we doing?
I can't believe we were right on that, dude.
Well, I've known it for a long
Oh, so
time.
funny.
And then like the thing of what we said yesterday about how they have all these injuries anyway. So like, what are they protecting? So who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us.
What,
But
you think that they will start him in right?
no, DH or bench. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, bench would be.
Dude, that'd be
Oh, well, the
ridiculous.
plane ride to St. Louis coming up.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
It's so bad, but one or two of those things. But just please, like, just play him like in the field, like over 50% of the time.
Right.
When Judge is back, yeah, it's funny too. Like, I almost feel like even though I want Judge in right or center, but obviously Bader's really good in center. Like, it's almost makes sense to put Judge in left because I just feel like if Stan's not that good in left, maybe like he's not going to hit as well. Like he played right his whole career. What do you think?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, and
Right?
then you could also flip flop Bader and Judge and put Bader in left field as well.
Bader can really go anywhere, right?
Yeah. So I just feel like put him where he's comfortable. But yeah, that was an absolute shot last night. So I love to see that, and I'm so excited about Anthony Volpe. It just seems like we looked at the game logs yesterday, but throwing another 2 for 4 there, Tony, and we're really, really heading in the right direction. The fact that he bunted, the fact that he stole third base, that's all the stuff we love.
Move him up in the lineup or keep him where he is?
I was just gonna say I really want to see him at leadoff.
Yeah, me too.
And maybe games like this help. DJ was just 1 for 5 last night, made a couple hard outs, but I kind of think Volpe's not getting a leadoff shot anytime soon. I hope he does, but it just doesn't seem like he is. And all that being said, I guess in a way, if he's not going to be the leadoff hitter, it is nice having him at the bottom of the lineup now that he's heating up, because then he can turn the lineup over. Better hitters come up, there's runners on or a runner on.
Right.
So
yeah, I like that.
We'll see. But like I said, nice to get the win here, nice to score a lot of runs, and you just hope that it's a blueprint. And I know I've talked about this many times before. I get the fact that it is the A's. They are the worst team in the league, but against any team, it didn't matter who was playing, they struggled to score. So that's got to do something for your confidence. I think the Herman element of 2 just gets the team excited. And I think they were kind of a little down in the dumps, just the way the offense had looked. And I know they've won the previous 2 series against the Mariners and the Rangers. So they can win, 3 series in a row with a win this afternoon. So you just hope this is that forward trajectory that you're looking for. I feel good about playing St. Louis. Obviously, just a little, different in terms of, you don't usually play in that park or go against them. But I actually am curious. I'm going to look this up. If Jordan Montgomery is supposed to pitch in the series. And I don't know if you saw this too. Remember last year he was barking and saying that, because he had pitched so well before he kind of hit that end of the season slide with the Cardinals. And he said the Yankees wouldn't let him throw his fastball.
I remember that.
He's like the usage is like identical to what he was doing with them. The numbers are similar. So it's like we knew who Monty was all along. So he actually will pitch the finale on Sunday.
Let's go.
So we don't have a starter for Sunday. I don't know, if that's going to be Randy Vasquez potentially, because they did option down Brito, or they bring Brito back up. That would probably fall under that rule we talked about, right? With Brito and like the minors and stuff. So it probably will be Vasquez, I would think. So it'll be Severino Libator on Friday. So you felt good about Sevy's last outing. You hope he can carry that over. Cole versus Jack Flaherty, who's dealt with some injuries this year, poor performance. You feel like you should do well there. And then the fact that Monty, he was in your organization his entire career before that deadline trend last year, so you should be familiar with him. So I think this sets up very well going into 7 games at home to end the first half of the season against Baltimore and Chicago. And I know, obviously, Baltimore, has played well this year, but their pitching isn't that strong. And then for whatever reason, we saw what we did against Texas. We saw what we did against the Dodgers. we have played well against better teams. So it's not out of the realm that you could take 3 out of 4 from Baltimore, take 2 out of 3 of Chicago after winning this game today and taking this series. And then all of a sudden, you look at this, and if you win the series in St. Louis, that's 6 straight series you won going into the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And that's what you need with Rodon and eventually Judge coming back in a tight playoff race.
Yeah, man, honestly, things are kind of looking up, and it's funny. I think, I heard some people from actually John Boy Radio. I don't know if you saw, but one of his guys like had a live reaction to the
Josie
perfect
McFly?
game. Yeah. You like him?
So he's a Yankee fan, so I'm not going to hate him, but I'm just curious if you think this, but I've only seen a couple. The reactions seem a little fake. And I know I'm crazy when I react, but do you?
Honestly, when I saw that video of his reaction to the perfect game, I just thought of like Stephen A. Smith, like immediately. Like it just seemed like something he would do, and he was just like, "Does this mean it's gonna be a what? Are they gonna win? I don't know what's gonna happen." Like, it's like, dude, like,
no, because I feel like he does like the
yeah, and he's like, dude, he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, dude.
It's kind of like Renee with like the punked face.
Yeah,
with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. And dude, he's like on his couch, like shirtless, but has like a comforter over himself. It's like, bro, like, what are we doing?
You know me, right now, like I'm just yelling, "Let's effing go!"
Yeah,
and that's it. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. He's making a whole theatritrical thing, like. And it's like you don't even look excited. You don't look excited. You just look like you're
having a stroke.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that though, and I knew who you were talking about right away with too, which is kind of funny.
I kind of totally forgot the point I was going to make though.
About McFly's video.
It wasn't about him though.
The Herman perfect game, the reaction, the John Boy media. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Yeah.
So the A's haven't announced a starter for this game, but we will have Clark Schmidt, who's pitched very well his last couple outings. So offense scored. We did the hit and run. We did the bunt. We did the steal. So I mean, everything should line up. I know, and that's when we get let down at times. But I just have a hard time believing after that type of victory last night, that type of history, that there's going to be a letdown today. I really think Clark will pitch well against this lineup, and I think we're going to score some runs.
Yeah, I mean, you got to assume that. I mean, again, like I know you lost game 1, but it's the A's. I mean, they're not going to play well, and I feel like Schmidt has kind of been like crawling his way back a little bit, So
yeah,
you got to expect a pretty like decent. I mean, nothing like 11-0 here, but considerable win here,
And how about this, Tony? Since May 3rd, Clark Schmidt has only allowed more than 2 runs 2 times. So
wow,
that's over the course of 10 starts.
That's really good.
Yeah. So he's been dialed in. I'll give my official pick in a second, but
wait, so 8 of those starts he's given up less than 2 runs.
2 runs or less.
Yeah, 2 runs or less.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty good. So like I said, I'll give my pick in a sec. And once again, congrats to Herman. That was a special night.
Yeah.
Love to be able to catch that thing live and just see it as it develops. And I think Ruocco and Nelson, who aren't on the call usually, I think they did a great job. I heard Shackle's call. Always been a fan of his. So it was a great night for everybody involved, and I love seeing how happy the team was to be a part of that. But let's go now, Tony. Let's talk about the Mets game from yesterday.
Yeah, dude. So nothing really great happened.
I was gonna say anything on Cohen's comments before you get into that.
Oh yeah, his
press
dude.
Conference. If you want to talk about that,
yeah. So Cohen's press conference, I actually watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they said Buck was gonna come on. I didn't see anything with Buck.
He was probably at the shop. The dispensary.
Yeah. I figured that's what you were getting to. But so Cohen yesterday, I'm trying to remember, maybe around like 3:00 or something was his conference. It was interesting. It was only about a half hour from sitting there. I had to get another meeting, they said, but I guess like some big takeaways. Probably one of the bigger things that he still believes in Epler and in Buck, and they're gonna have their jobs for the rest of the season, he says.
Right. But usually that means they're gonna get fired in a week.
Yeah, exactly. Who the hell knows, honestly.
Vote of confidence is a vote of death.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's he gonna say? Like, no, like I want them? Like, no, I don't think so. Which, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Again, he reiterated the fact that he's not a man who acts impulsively, which is
Okay,
totally
hell.
fine. But he did talk about that he is in the market to get a president of baseball operations, a position that would be above Epler to split the I guess the duties, the responsibilities, and technically, like I said, would be above Epler. So I mean, I guess he's trying to hire that position, I guess, which is cool. But again, it just kind of seems like almost like what you're alluding to, where it's like, all right, so like, but then like, why have Epler? Like it seems like you're not happy with him, so it's like you're trying to hire someone else anyway.
Yeah, and
like,
even if you're gonna keep him, I
Yeah.
mean, you're basically saying he needs to be babysat.
yeah,
So then that
So
would mean that he's
what's
eventually
even
gonna
the
be out
point
door,
of
and then
him?
the
Yeah.
guy you're bringing in, why the hell does he want to work with him? David Stearns.
Exactly. Yeah, they're trying to get Stearns or something. He talked about him too. But in all honesty, what I thought was kind of intriguing was when I think a couple of reporters, it was one reporter who said that, all right, like, because he was talking about planning for contingencies, always have contingencies, whatever, like you always have to be prepared for what, everything. And one of the reporters was like, all right, well, what if you have to use one of these contingencies, if you find yourself retooling this team, selling at the deadline and doing a massive, like almost like another rebuild, like he goes, how many years would this put you back, sort of deal?
Mhm.
Because he's looking for, he said that he wants a World Series between 3 and 5 years. This is his third year. And again, like he didn't really obviously answer that question because it's hard to tell. But again, like it wasn't like, oh, like, well, we just need a few extra guys and it's just another year, or something like that. Like again, no, like not a lot of confidence.
Mhm.
He was also asked if he thinks like they're going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
And again, like with not a lot of confidence, he's like, oh, well, anything could happen. You really never know. Again, but just kind of like almost sounds like he's chalked it up already, the season, which is kind of tough, dude. I mean, yeah, obviously anything could happen. And he's like, oh, I got to prepare for that, whatever. But again, it seems like you can just tell by his voice. It's just like a sense of doubt. Like, oh, like anything could happen. Like it would take a fucking miracle, but it could happen. Sort of deal. So again, I mean, you didn't really get a whole lot from him other than that, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like he has
100 million
plan.
on the chin.
It's basically.
Wait, do you buy that?
Yeah, I do. The man's got a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, but I just like, wow.
I mean, he's not happy clearly,
Yeah.
but I mean, again, like it seems like he is definitely the type of owner that belongs here. You
Right.
know, he's got a passion for the team, which is great. And again, like, you look at really what he's done since he came here. I mean, you think about his plan from 3 to 5. Yeah, obviously it's not going well. It's not really like, we're in the third year. It doesn't look like we're close, obviously now. But I mean, again, like as an owner, I mean, he was on the up, dude. Again, like coming into this season, I mean, it looked like the Mets were going to be contending. Like
Right.
at the end, like at last season, it looked like we were going to be contending in the playoffs. Like he's made great moves. He's the Mets have made great strides. I don't think that he's made bad decisions. He invested a dumpster fire of a team. And again, like last season, won over 100 games. He brought in a manager that won Manager of the Year. He did acquire Francisco Lindor. Again, like you think about who, like if we had DeGrom instead of Scherzer, instead of Verlander. I mean, obviously Verlander there is a better move, sort of deal. I think he's been a great owner. I think so. It's just this year, like everyone every player isn't playing as well as they should be. I think that sense is certainly on the players because again, you look at Cohen is a businessman. Like he is making moves that are continuing to trend the Mets upwards. And I mean, like no one really saw this catastrophe really coming, dude. Like honestly,
yeah, I guess I just don't see like what propelled him to hire Billy Epler,
right?
And then what made him satisfied with these moves in the offseason. And then I know
right.
you say the same thing about Hal Cashman, of course, but
I mean, it's not that Cohen said this, but he did kind of allude to the fact that Epler like was not his first. Like it wasn't
David
his first
Stearns.
it wasn't his first choice, like he mentioned it's like, oh, like it's hard to fill these roles. Like he said, like I'm still looking for a president of baseball operations. Like I can't fill the role. No one, I don't know what, like he's like, no one wants to.
But I don't get that though, because you have like such a high payroll. And then, I
No
mean,
shit.
what? Just now there's just a lot of work to do because of the poor performance of the team. But it's like, I don't know. You still have assets. You still have money.
Right. I mean, you have assets, you have money, but again, like it is a tough job. It is
Right.
inheriting like a kind of a shitty situation that you're putting yourself in a high leverage, high pressure situation. And yeah, you may be able to flash a lot of money and a big paycheck to someone's face, but I mean, in reality, I feel like the market in general is kind of tight for a GM.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, like I said, like it's just again like you approached Epstein, talked about Stearns, like they don't want it, they didn't want it.
Right.
Like you tell, like I mean, I could only imagine the conversations Cohen has had with these guys. Like,
Right.
I mean, well, you can't make them, take the job. But I mean, he's good talking to the media. I think he honestly should more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed listening to him. Again, he seems to have a positive attitude and he understands what's going on. Like it does kind of seem like he watches the games and everything. Seems like he's like,
Yeah.
There with the team.
I
Which is
just,
nice.
Just the offseason, though, just thinking about offensively, I guess that's the only thing. It's like, how did he think that, you know what I mean, that was enough? Because even these guys at their best, like, you still, you know what I mean? It's like Lindor Alonso, and then.
Well, I mean, imagine if McNeil was still batting like 300,
But McNeil is the table setter, but I'm saying like the power run production guy.
Yeah, I mean, you just didn't acquire that.
Right.
You acquired like you look at Tommy Pham, hit a home run last night. He would be a great acquisition
as a fourth outfielder.
Exactly, as a support player, like to just bolster. Like, oh, he's tacking on runs at this point. Like that's a great move. And I guess the Mets thought they would have those power hitters,
right?
Within the organization, I guess. I mean, maybe Marte being one of them in terms of not having a lack of production. But I mean, if you look at the team, I mean, Alonso obviously has been great. His average is a little below par. But Francisco Lindor, I mean, I know a lot of people rag on him, but he's like one of the best shortstops in the league. He leads. He's the best. I think he has the most home runs and RBIs as a shortstop across the league. He's been killing it this past, I want to say 2 weeks. I think he's been batting like 300 with like 4 home runs. So, and not to mention he's been, playing defense quite phenomenally. So obviously, you got to look at someone like Epler not acquiring better guys. I don't know if Epler really did have did you really think Vogelbach would be cranking like 28 home runs at the DH position? Like, is that really what you thought? Right. Because obviously that's not happening. So I don't know, man. I enjoy Cohen as an owner. And I really do think, again, he's someone who, like I said, has been in the limelight before for negative things. And I think he knows how to handle the media in terms of telling them what they want and stuff like that. So, like you said, like a vote of confidence is like it could mean yeah, dude. Because and again, like I mean, you cannot and he mentioned probably at least 6 times that he's looking for a president of baseball operations. So it's like clearly you're looking for something better than Epler. You
know what I don't get too is I guess Stearns' contract is up after this year, but it's like if the Brewers have known for like 2 years that he wants to go, like why didn't they just get compensation for him? Why do you want a guy who doesn't want to be there?
I don't know.
It's like really weird.
Good question. Yeah.
It's like I guess they thought they could convince him to stay. I don't know. But I just thought that was odd. Did you watch the game yesterday?
Oh yeah, some of it, dude. Well, I totally forgot we were recapping the game. So the Mets ended up losing 5-2 last night. And, you want to take you through some of the play-by-play here. You had Senga on the mound against the veteran Miley in the league. I think he's been in the league for 12, 13
Wade
years.
Miley.
Yeah. So, I don't know, dude. Senga, again, I mean, something you quite possibly could put on the shoulders of Billy Epler is the acquisition of Kadai Senga. I think at this point it's just not been working at all. And yet another game here where he gives up runs in the first inning. Top of the first here, they start off with Senga on the mound, gives up a leadoff double to Yelich, dude. Then after that, strikes out Contreras and Rowdy Tellez, but then walks Adames. And then Winker doubles to center, which scores Adames and Yelich. After that, forces a pop out from Miller. But it's like, dude, just another start where he gives up 2 runs in the first inning. It's again, I'm just sick and tired of him coming in and right away giving up runs and not lasting much more than 5 innings. It's just not worth it at this point. Like I understand the level of wiggle room you give him because he's adjusting or whatever, but it's like, dude, at this point,
enough's enough.
It really is. He's not coming into games ready. Like he's not ready for these games. If you were ready, you would have no walks in the first inning, no earned runs in the first inning. And of course, bottom of the first with Miley in the mound, Nimmo lines out, Marte strikes out, Lindor grounds out. And it's kind of like that. The next inning, Senga gets 2 strikeouts, but hits Wiener with a pitch. Yelich then grounds out to end the inning. Bottom of the second here, Alonso ground out to start, but then Tommy Pham, who I mentioned had a home run last night, does hit that home run in the bottom of the second off a 4-seam fastball. Cranks it 404 feet, about left center field. Look good, hit another home run. Tommy Pham, that's great. Again, like a guy who could be a good acquisition in terms of just bolstering some offense and attacking on runs. That was obviously the only score in that inning. Fast forward now to the bottom of the fourth, where Miley on the mound finally gets into some trouble. Leadoff walk to Lindor, Alonso singles, and then Tommy Pham walks. So right there, you have no outs, bases are juiced. Walks Alvarez, brings in a runner. Lindor comes in. After that, Brett Beatty comes out, strikes out, swinging. Strikes out looking actually on a 4-seam fastball in the zone low, but in the zone, kind of grounds out into a double play. So, kind of an at bat where you expect to score more runs. I understand, like, you got 2, which is great. So you got 1. You only got 1 with the bases loaded, no outs. You get 1 run from that, and it's off of a walk. So it's not even like you guys are hitting well, which is really annoying there. And then, 5th inning here, which is where Senga will end his night. Gets a 1-2-3 inning. That was the first time in the game. 5th inning is when he gets that. So, like, what type of dominance did he show? Not at all. Only lasting 5 innings, forcing Buck to go to the bullpen. And wouldn't you know, it goes to the bullpen in the 6th. Hartwig comes in, someone who I was like, oh, this guy could be good, young guy. Got into some trouble last night. Leadoff double by Miller. Anderson lines at the 3rd. But then Perkin singles to left, scoring Miller. And then causes a ground out and then strikes out Yelich looking off of a sweeper, Brian. But does give up 1 earned run there to give Milwaukee the lead. And it only got worse in the top of the 8th when they really imploded when Ottavino comes in to pitch for the Mets. Miller grounds out first, but Anderson hits a double to left, walks Perkins, hits Wiener with a pitch, and then Yelich gets a single, which scores Anderson and Perkins, giving them 2 runs, making it 5-2. And then, as you know, that's the final score. So the Mets could do shit the rest of the game. Come on, dude. I mean, Miley, dude, is a guy you should certainly get to. You had opportunity with the bases loaded. It's just like what the hell, dude?
And just with they're not getting deep in the games. Clearly every pitcher on the staff has shown that he can't do that. So it's like, I don't what do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do to fix it? You can just get 5 new starters.
I know. It's like, it's horrible, dude. Again, it's like what could you honestly, what could you do? You start David Peterson. That's what you do. And he gives you 6 innings.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I would suggest either, if you can get a decent amount of prospects, you have to eat some money. I would trade both Scherzer and Verlander.
Mm-hmm.
Or if someone's going to take on the whole contract, but you get decent prospects, I would do either one. I just think that they're not, if you could just get value in youth, that's going to be more valuable than what they're going to bring you.
At this point, we signed Scherzer, thinking you can get 2 or 3 good years out of him.
And here we are in year 2.
And here we are in year 2. So it's not even and again, at this age, turning 40,
right?
You would expect like the decline to either flatline or continue. You wouldn't expect an uptick in play. Even though that he's been kind of getting a little better, but still, I mean, it's just like nowhere near what we need him to be. Neither is Verlander, neither is any pitcher in the rotation of the Mets. And it just really sucks, dude. Lack of offense last night. Christian Yelich, like having a couple RBIs, like hitting well. I mean, like, are you kidding, dude? Yeah, he was 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs.
Is he back?
No, he's not back, dude. And the Mets, I mean, Tommy Pham was 3 for 3 with the home run and an RBI.
Yeah.
And
the
it's
average
like,
is up to 268.
That's your guy right now. Like, he's through the month of June, he's been your best hitter.
Well, and that's the problem.
For the most part, anyway. In terms of just consistently getting on base. Yeah, that's your huge problem, dude.
I'm just curious. I don't know if you just saw any of the highlights, but how did like Yelich's like bat speed look?
I mean, I guess pretty good. I haven't seen any like metrics on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's been like slower than normal or anything, but again, like it seems like he has quick hands. I mean, you look at some of the some of his scoring plays. I think they were all off speed pitches. I think, yeah, it was a cutter that was he was just kind of sitting cutters. So, I don't know. Maybe he's been doing better on the off speed pitches. I have to look into that to see, like, if I would imagine, especially against the Mets, if you have any success against the Mets, odds are I feel like you're hitting an off speed pitch. Although you could be hitting any pitch, but most of these pitchers are throwing off speed. Like Rayleigh, for example, in the 8th, give that RBI single. It was just a cutter that was kind of like high and away.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he just got that bat up and was able to pull it. So, I mean, the man clearly has some talent. I mean,
yeah, I was just trying to figure out like why he can't drive the ball, and it's like he was never big. So I just like would think it would be bat speed unless he like I don't know, like just got away from good fundamentals. Like
it's possible. Let me see if I can do some research here. I wouldn't know where, like, I don't think I ever even looked up like someone's bat speed specifically. StatCast?
They might.
Let's see, dude. StatCast.
It'd probably be. Oh yeah, but that stuff is. Actually, though, exit velocity is good or no?
Yeah, he's in the 95 percentile for average exit velocity.
Yeah.
Hard hit percentage is again 95 percentile. Maybe he's just not getting his hands around enough because the barrel percentage is the 63rd percentile.
So it's like it almost makes me think like with the right technique that it not 40 home runs, but that he could go back to hitting like 25.
Probably chase rate is 80th percentile, so maybe a better eye at the plate too, I guess.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you look at his numbers. I mean, he didn't have 40 home run power. Maybe that was just like a career years, and he's more of like he hasn't even done this, but maybe he's just more of a 20 to 25 guy.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, it just seemed like he was completely finished, but maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see if the Brewers fall out, if somehow they're able to work something out with the trade, or if they stay in there and he ends up being at the foreface of it.
Wow, he's 31 years old now.
Yeah. Prime just went like that. He signed that undervalued deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still made a lot of money, but he could have made 100 million
way more. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough, dude.
Are the Mets playing today? Yeah.
Yeah, 4
game set.
Yeah.
Who's on the hill?
That's a really good question, Brian. Let's look it up, dude. I mean, I would imagine
Scherzer?
Cookie Carrasco?
Scherzer. Wow. Scherzer versus Adrian Hauser 7-10 from City.
I guess the whole bringing up Peterson thing, sending down McDill, kind of like
switched up the rotation
a little bit. Yeah.
How do you feel about Mad Max on the
I mean, hey man, right now he's our best pitcher. So
a win or no?
I do think a win. Adrian Hauser, dude, 2-2, 4.02 ERA. I don't know. Again, like I know Scherzer, like a tick below 4 isn't where you want him. But again, like I feel like some of his recent starts haven't been horrible. Philadelphia, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Houston, 8 innings, 1 earned run. Obviously, before that, getting popped by the Yankees, difficulty with the Braves. But clearly, still has some strikeout stuff. Can give you length here. I think against Brewers, I don't think he'll have an issue like Kadai Senga will. It just seems like for Senga, dude, I mean, the forkball is just, you saw some effectiveness with you getting some strikeouts swinging, but other than that, it seems like batters are keen on it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it's kind of rare if Senga's fastball is being located correctly. So at that point, I mean, the guy is almost useless.
Yeah.
But someone who has been locating their fastball is Scherzer. We talked about him forcing a lot of ground outs and flyouts. I think it's going to be all day with that for the Brewers. Especially since I feel like winning this, last night's game, I feel like they'll be like kind of swinging, like looking to swing and hit balls here. So I think Scherzer will get to his advantage, flyouts, ground outs, maybe like 7 innings of 2 earned runs.
Almost like a little better than Mitch Keller last night. You see that?
No, I did not actually.
7-1 Pirates.
Really? That is very good.
Melvin and Soto might be in the Big Apple next year.
That'd be pretty solid, I will say, dude.
The legend.
What's up?
Renee Viviano. So what'd you say final score?
I think they're gonna win 5-2.
5-2.
So basically, yeah.
In terms of the Yankees here, we don't even know who's pitching for Oakland, but I think that bodes well for them. If they go bullpen game, I mean, we should tattoo that weak bullpen. I think it's the worst ERA in the majors. Give me Clark Schmidt for a quality start, 6 innings, like 1 earned, 7 Ks. I think offensively, Rizzo finally hits that dinger that we've all been waiting for. Bowers goes deep back in the lineup. Another couple hits for Volpe, and a nice, clean, no doubt 7-2 victory tonight. So 18 runs, Tony, last 2 games.
I thought you were going to say no
hitter.
Tides are turning.
Michael knows it.
Wow,
Renee
that is a crispy white shirt. Did you iron? Wow, ironed.
Straight from Michael Jordan.
Bleached and fabric softener. Michael Jordan.
Haynes?
Oh.
Wow. Almost takes out Renee in her water bottle.
Wow, the side eye with the pretzel rod.
With the missed shot. By the way, Tony, I went 3-0 last night. You went 2-1. Finally picked up a game on you. You're still up 31.
Bitch went 3-0?
Yeah. It's because I had the Yankees, the Pirates, and the Rangers. And you had the Mets, the Rays, the Marlins. Obviously, the Mets the only
blew it, dude. They fucked me.
On the radar. Who's number 2 for you today?
I think number 2 for me, just looking at this slate of games here. Again, I feel like all these, like, for some reason, all these series have been going on, like, they started and they're ending the same. So it's like the same games every day.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. It makes it honestly harder for the picks, dude. But I'm going to go with my boy on the mound here for the Guardians. Shane Bieber possibly coming over
there we go.
to the Mets. You never know, dude. And I understand, again, kind of a lackluster performance as of late. Trouble against Milwaukee, trouble against Arizona. But I feel like against Kansas City tonight, in Kansas City, should be able to take care of some business here. I mean, other than Perez, I mean, I feel like he doesn't really have much to worry about.
I'm surprised you're picking against Greinke. I thought he was still good. 1-8, 5.31.
Well, I've been off Greinke recently because
he was so good
losing games. No, I do enjoy Greinke, and he was winning when I was picking him. But now you gotta play with what's hot, okay, dude?
The hot hands.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You gotta go with the stats here. You gotta go with the trends right now. Greinke trending down a little bit. As much as I enjoy Greinke, give me Bieber out pitching him. Cleveland wins this one. I'm gonna say 3-1.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know I was just talking about how the Pirates dominated yesterday, but I think the Padres will get off the schneid today. Joe Musgrove, who's pitched better of late, 3.88, 6-2 against Luis Ortiz, 2-3, 3.74. Padres losers of 4 in a row. Pirates have won 3 out of 5 and 2 of their last 3. But I think Musgrove will give him 6 strong. I could see Tatis and Soto going deep and a very Padre-like 3-1 victory over the Pirates in this matinee, 12:35. So almost an hour away from first pitch there at PNC Park.
It's pretty sweet.
They're Nevada.
I think I'm gonna go Cubs tonight.
Cubs.
Yeah, Cubs at home against the Phillies. Taiwan Walker on the mound for Philadelphia. Hendricks on the mound.
Kyle Hendricks
for the Cubs. 2.60 ERA. You look at his last few starts here. Pittsburgh took care of business, 6 1/3, 1 earned run. Only giving up 2 earned runs in Baltimore, and then going 8 innings, no earned runs in San Francisco. Pretty impressive there, I would say, for Hendricks. And on top of that, I think Cody Bellinger, dude, dinger tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a nice performance in the outfield too. And I think that Taiwan Walker gets a little banged up. Cubs going to win this one. I'll say 6-2.
All right. And I'm not familiar with this guy. He might be the son of former A's pitcher Chad Bradford, but it's Cody Bradford pitching for Texas in the series finale against the Tigers. I believe this was a 4-game set here. And the Rangers dropped the first one, but have won the last 2. And I think they make it 3 in a row. And I think just offensively, they'll be a lot stronger here. Maybe Javi Baez with a solo shot. That's all they get. Bradford 6 scoreless. And
I don't think he's related.
Oh, no? Yeah, I guess usually it would say in there. Yes, maybe not.
Definitely would, I feel.
6 scoreless. Give me the Rangers here. Let's go 5-1 over Texas.
Wow, I feel like you've been picking the Rangers a lot recently.
They're hot. Like you said, hot hand, right?
Trends, dude. Yep.
Lots of trends. So
what do you think, dude? Do you think you're gonna have a good shot at going 3-0 tonight?
Yeah,
honestly,
because the Yankees will win, Padres will win, and then yeah, I feel great about that. I mean, maybe a couple of shekels, nice payday parlay. No,
that sounds very good actually.
So, we'll have to see about that. And then the only other thing, Tony, that I wanted to do is take one more look here
at the leaderboard update
from Detroit Golf Club at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And right now, joining Sam Ryder at 6 under par, we have actually 5 other golfers. So we have Doug Him, Aaron Rye.
Doug Him,
whatever.
Oh, I don't know. It might be him.
It's GHIM. Colin Morikawa is now at 6 under through 14. Ricky Fowler at 6 under through 14. So Ricky continuing his strong recent play from the Travelers, and Peter Quest at 6 under par. So low numbers all over the board, and I think we will approach scoring levels that we did last week in Cromwell.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, Tony, anything else you wanted to mention here?
I don't think so, dude. But this is gonna close us out this week, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Next time we'll see everybody. It'll be at the Horseshoe.
Next time we see everybody will actually be on Sunday at the Horseshoe. And it's gonna be dope, dude. Because I don't know if people know, but this weekend we're gonna go to Bar K. In Lake Como, New Jersey, dude, because the Michael K show is going to be there, as well as who's on before Michael K? Barton Hahn. And David Rock. Barton. Yeah, so chilling. Barton Hahn at noon, and then Michael K at 3, obviously. Rick and Dave gonna be there hanging out. Gonna be a great time. We're going there, gonna vlog it, have a great time, staying at the Viviano residence.
There we go.
What are you saying?
Mic check.
What do you got, dude?
We know we have media passes for the Barton Hahn show, which is 12 to 3.
Yeah, we know we have media passes, dude.
Yeah.
We're not sure about because they're Chiefs.
Michael K show.
We'll see though.
Yeah.
If they are not. But a lot of people have been helping out Renee on the email chain.
Great.
All over ESPN ES. Just whatever Renee needs. I think we should ask for the company.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the footage I'm sure will be great. Oh yeah. And then one question for you, Michael, before we wrap up. I know you believe in this type of thing. Larson in 57, Wells in 98,
I heard it
in
this
99.
Morning. It's over.
Herman in 23.
You know it's a World Series.
That is all I wanted to hear.
Like it's
you need
the odds are ever in your favor.
Yeah.
It's a saying for a reason.
Yeah.
All the pitchers with the first name of
you jinxed it, dude.
Well.
Are you kidding?
Oh my god, dude.
David. Domingo.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Jinx.
It's true. And you know what?
Jinxed it.
He's
You're
just
jinxing
mad
it, dude.
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
the Mets are,
It's so
obviously
funny,
sinking.
dude.
But
how your
we
attitude
always say
changes.
your
when
time
Brian
will come.
is here, dude.
Your time will
It
come.
wasn't this year. It was never supposed
We
to be this
say
year.
it every time.
Yeah.
But it just
He
we
just doesn't
feel
have any
bad for the
patience.
Mets.
Yeah.
Barnes doesn't feel bad. I mean, I do. I want them to be good. I've said it multiple
Yeah.
times. It would be sick if it was a Subway series. Like,
Right.
I would love that. Like,
don't give him your jersey, Brian. Okay, just don't give him the jersey. All right, dude.
Oh, that's funny.
Aw.
But yeah, so
Oh wow,
be
dude.
a traitor.
My
Mike.
mother
Wow.
says traitor, Mike.
Wow.
Wow, dude. She also wants us to have a 4th of July pool party over there.
Wow.
Yeah,
there you
dude.
go.
Dude, that's sick.
It would be nice, but probably not gonna happen
Um,
because 4th of July. It's 4th of July is now this weekend. This is
Not
4th of July
really.
weekend. 4th of July is what? Tuesday? Is Tuesday? 4th of July?
Tuesday,
4th of July.
yeah.
This is the weekend, dude.
But yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the Horseshoe, and
a
we
dope
thank
weekend.
everybody for this week and today for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go, Yankees.
Go Mets.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.